Jack, it wasn't meant to be today, but we pushed Premier League opponents all the way to the very end.
Yeah, exactly. We pushed them all the way to the very end. Gutted, because, it's never easy to lose on pens, but I felt like we did very well without the ball. Obviously, the Premier League team are going to have a lot of the ball, and that certainly proved to be the case. But I felt like we, at times, were very solid, controlled the game well. And you can see the sort of stuff we've been doing on the training pitches coming out, and to keep a team with that much quality in it quiet like we did is very satisfying.
And a lot in the history for you as well, personally. How did it feel to be out playing against your former side and putting them to the test?
Yeah, it was a very sort of full circle moment. I didn't play for the club as much as I obviously would have liked, but I think it gave me my first sort of step into English football, which I'll be forever grateful for it for. I think the club's got a lot of great people in it. Something that I felt very fortunate at the time when I moved down, that they sort of helped me settle, and because I was just a 17-year-old kid moving to London, so it was a nice evening to play against them, see some familiar faces, and just gutted that we came so close. But the atmosphere, the whole buzz around the club tonight was what you want to play in, and this is the games that you want to be involved in, and yeah, it was a good night, but yeah, gutted that we to lose and get so close was gutting.
You just mentioned it briefly there, but the atmosphere tonight was one of the best we've seen at Adams Park in recent times. How important were they today, backing you from start to finish?
Yeah, massive. I think the players mentioned it even in the warm-up. They sort of said that, how boisterous and loud the terrace was, and it was a different atmosphere to the league, which is, I've had a few here, to be fair. Villa last season was boisterous, and we've had MK Dons in the playoffs. It can be noisy under the lights, and it was... the boys really felt that. The boys really felt it, and I feel like the gaffer was brilliant. I think before the game he was, he didn't want us to sit back. I know the game turned into a bit of that, but he always wanted us to be aggressive in the press, especially in the middle section of the pitch, and I think we got a lot of chances from that in the first half. Inevitably, with their quality, I think the game's going to die out a little bit and they're going to have a lot of the ball, but I still feel like the fans sort of got behind us when we give them glimmers of hope. But sadly, frustrating to concede a set piece goal as well. I think they didn't cut us open with a lot of quality, but yeah, it was great to see the fans. I think after a topsy-turvy start to the season, I think it was great to see them out in full voice tonight.
And it may not have gone our way tonight, but how much of a boost will this be going forward in the season now that we can see these performances getting more and more convincing by the game?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we've put ourselves in a position now where we can't rest on our laurels. We need to keep getting points. We need to keep moving forward. We need to keep on the front foot. And the gaffer said that after the game. He said, well done, but you've got to keep moving forward now. And I think that's we've got the right squad. We've got great people in the team, and I think you can see the confidence is building now. I think you can see people more on the front foot and be more aggressive, and I think that'll build with time. And I think I've said it a few times, we've put ourselves in a position where you can't sit back now, because although we've got a lot of points in recent games, you're still only 3 points outside relegation, but you're also not too far off looking where you want to be. So I think it's there for anyone this season to grab the chance. And these nights are great, but let's be honest, the bread and butter is what we want to be in, and we need league points. So a great evening for the fans, for ourselves. Gutted we came so close, but we've got a good FA Cup run to start again on, which is weird timing. You can start a new cup run on Saturday and get more nights like these, hopefully.